Hey, what's up guys? So today we're gonna color grade. I'm gonna show you how to color grade with no LUTs, with LUTs, and finally Dehancer Pro. I'm gonna use footage with the FX9, but you can use these techniques on any camera, and this footage is gonna be Slog 3. So let's get to it. Let's open up Premiere Pro and let's just get into Dehancer Pro first. This is what it looks like right now. This is what it looked like before with Dehancer Pro, before Slog 3, FX9. Let's see, let me show you how I got there. I'm just going to add an adjustment layer here. Perfect. Then I'm gonna go to Effects, type in Dehancer. That up, drop it off, go to effects control, go to input. So you have Rec 709. We're gonna go to Rec 709, choose camera. We're gonna go to Sony Venice Slog 3 Gamma 3 Cine. I have the PXW FX9. You can choose Slog 3 as well on the FX3 or the FX6. It looks pretty similar. I chose the AGFA 1991 color. You can choose whatever you like, but I'm gonna put a list of all my favorites right here, right now, so you can see which ones I like. Add contrast. I feel like this made it really bright. Let's add some contrast. Let's do some gamma correction. Do a little color boost. That's too much. Like 20% is fine. Subtle things are very good, guys. You don't want to do too much. Film compression. I'm gonna put some film compression just to get rid of those sharp highlights. As you can see, if it's at 0, the highlights are really strong. Ice cream truck is outside selling ice cream. I'll put this at, I think 60 is good. I'm gonna leave the white point at 100. Leave the tonal range at 30, it's good. Expand. Keep that at 0. I think it's a little too bright, so I'm just gonna bring it down by 0.2. Tonal contrast at -3. Color density. Let's keep the color density at 0. Saturation at 100%. We're going to go to color head. I'm going to add a little bit of blue, like 3. Let's go to green. We'll put green at 2. Oh, I like a little red, you know. But green, no. I'm gonna add a -3 on the red. I'm going to add a 3 on the midtones. Makes it warmer. And I'm going to put a, for the highlight tones, I'm going to put -12. Makes it a little colder in the highlights and a little warmer in the shadows. Adding some contrast there. As you can see, this is before, this is after with 100% impact. I'm going to go to film grain. I don't like this film grain. I'm going to put 65mm ISO 250. It's very subtle. I like that one. Halation. I love a halation, but I don't like too much. Like it gets really too much. So 65mm 70 is my favorite. bloom. I have a Pro Mist filter already enabled, but I'm going to add a little bit of bloom. Let's add the 65mm 70. It's subtle, it's good. I don't need film damage, I don't need film breath, I don't need gate weave. Overscan. I'll show you what it is. Overscan is basically this. You have different stuff, but I'm not going to do that. Vignetting, you can just minus 0.1. Feathers at 100%. Yeah, it's before, it's after. It's very subtle. Like I said, I like subtle things. This is a monitor. You could check skin. My skin's a little warm. You see it's up here, but 50% gray. It's useful. Output is 100%. You can just what it looked like before. This is what it looked like after. I think it looks great, to be honest with you. The color boost is a little too much. It's a little too red. Go to film developer, and we're gonna decrease the color boost. We're just gonna put it back to like minus 17. It was too much red. My skin was way too red. But I like this. Like, this looks great. This is before. This is after. All with Dehancer Pro, guys. I'm sorry if this tutorial is getting long. I'm trying to speed it up. But now let's get into color grading just from scratch. I'm gonna go to Lunucci scopes. It's my scopes here, and I'm gonna straight up. There's multiple ways of adding contrast. I really like adding contrast with the curves. Let's drop this down a tiny bit. We're going to do an S-curve now with all of the colors. This adds contrast, but it also adds color. Let's make it subtle. You want to match these S-curves perfectly with red, green, and blue, or it's going to start acting weird. This is much more contrasted, as if you could tell. Look at the parades here. This is, what do we got? We got the parade RGB. That's pretty contrasted. We could decrease the contrast now a little. We can get that same film look by just clamping the highlights. See that? Just add that soft look to it, but personally I like a lot of detail in my highlights. We can go back to now basic correction, and we could drop the highlights a little bit, increase the shadows, increase the highlights, the whites, drop the blacks a tiny bit. Now this is already saturated. Like I think it looks pretty good, but let's add a little bit of saturation, just a tiny bit, and then add vibrance, just a tiny bit, like 9.4. But this is all with curves, guys, and just basic correction. You know, I would change the color temperature. You can use the color picker and click on it. That's pretty good. Let's increase the shadows so you can get some detail on my face. We'll add a vignette later. This is good. I honestly like this a lot. Okay, we're gonna add a little bit of sharpness, 10%. Faded film. Let's add some faded film, 18%. I could add red to my shadows. So I added a little bit of red in the shadows. There you go. That's a faded red. Okay, so now we're going to go to hue versus hue. I like clicking on the major colors, so that's my skin, the red. This whole area is skin, to be honest. I'm going to put some saturation in the tree and some saturation in the blues. I'm going to keep the saturation down on the yellows and increase them on my skin area just a tad bit. Luma obviously changes the brightness of the colors, so see, but I don't really care to change that. Don't care. Go to color wheels. I'm going to drop the shadows, keeping an eye on my Luma curve on the left in my scopes. And I'm going to add some green. Very tiny green yellow. I'm going to add a little bit of cyan. Very tiny bit of cyan. If we turn this off and turn it on, it's just more contrasted. But now we're going to go back to creative. We're going to add some more film. A lot, actually. Get that compression going. The whites. I'm going to increase the whites a little. Drop. I'll keep the highlights. Keep everything the same. So this is what it looked like before. This is what it looked like after. I think it looks great. Honestly, I like it. Can't think of anything else. Okay, let's increase the color temperature a little more. Let's put this to 3 and add a little bit of green. It's like a 1.3. I like this. This is it. It's done. It's not too much. It's not professional, but I think it got the job done. Now you can go through this with any camera. I didn't use a correction LUT. I didn't use any of those fancy things. I just put on an adjustment layer and I started contrasting it. And then I added a little bit of saturation. But I also added saturation with the curves by making an S curve with all the colors. So you have to remember that when you do use a more dramatic S curve with the red, green, and blue, you are adding contrast and saturation at the same time. So you have to be really careful of how much you push that. But let's see, let's test it out. Let's take a clip from here. I like this, me trying to open the church door. And I'm just gonna drop that right here. Look at that, guys. That looks, I honestly like that. I really do. That looks great. I'm gonna give this LUT to you guys for free. Watch you guys use it on your camera, you're gonna think it's like garbage. But I'm gonna go to Lumetri. I'm gonna export cube. I'm gonna put free LUT 2024 Slog 3. Kelvin temperature is very important when you're using LUTs. From what I remember was like around 5,400 Kelvin. And it was exposed to mm 1.3. If you expose it to mm 1.3 and put it to Kelvin temperature of 54K, I think it was around that much, it should look like this. You'll just need to add a little bit of contrast and that's it. So here's a free LUT. Also, if you want a discount on Dehancer Pro, use my code SAFI, S-A-F-I. I get a little bit of a kickback from it. I've never done something like this before, so I don't know how it works. I really liked Dehancer. I wanted to purchase it, but I emailed them and I'm like, hey, can I make you guys a color grading video and receive the product? And they were kind enough to give it to me, so I'm so thankful for them. I honestly will be using Dehancer Pro, and I honestly would have purchased it if they didn't give it to me for free. I think there's so much, especially the film, just the film grain is so useful. But this is my color grade for free. Now I'm going to show you how to color grade with a LUT, okay? So let's use my color. Let's use my LUT, for instance, and then I'm going to show you a professional LUT that you can purchase. Let's put this on the side. We'll go back to an adjustment layer. And let's color grade with a LUT. So I'm going to go to Creative, Film, Browse, Free LUT 2024, click Done. It's ready to go. Think it looks good. I honestly like it. Alright, so now we're going to use a professional LUT. Let's delete this. Browse, I'm going to go to FX9, Phantom RE LUTs. So we're going to go to the newest one they sent me. There's a film version, but I'm just going to get a correction LUT. So let's use a film version. I like Vision Teal Legacy. That looks great. Look at the skin tones, man. Like, look at those skin tones, bro. Just straight up magnificent. If you use any Slog 3, just add a little bit more contrast here. Yeah, that's it. If you use FX9 or any Slog 3, the Phantom RE LUTs are amazing. I'm not sponsored by him, but his LUTs are my favorite. So let's just start over and use a different version. Browse. If you go to just not the film version, but the Phantom RE LUTs G5, get a neutral legacy. That's what it looks like neutral. And I think it did a fantastic job. I don't know how he got his skin tones, but I love the skin tones that his LUTs give you. This is his LUT and this is mine. See how mine is warm and yellow? His is so just, the skin tones are just so good. If we try to match that pinkness of the skin tones, now that I'm noticing it, pink, just a tiny bit of pink, some red as well, too much red. Okay, I'm gonna re-edit, one second, I'm gonna export cube, free LUT, save, replace. That's how you color grade with Dehancer Pro. Please use my code if you want a discount. I would appreciate that. Also, I would have purchased Dehancer Pro even if I didn't get it for free. I swear to you, on my life, it's so useful. Number 2, that was color grading with a LUT. I offered my LUT for free in the description down below. Leaming LUTs. So if you want someone's professional LUTs, my dog is barking. If you want professional LUTs, I would highly recommend for any Slog 3 to use the Phantom RE LUTs. I honestly live and die by them. I'm not sponsored by him. I really just think they're amazing for skin tones, and it's a good place to start. Like if you use his neutral G5, and you could just start tweaking things here and there, you'll get a great look. As far as Dehancer Pro goes, I really love the film grain they give. I love their halation, but use it tastefully, guys. Don't like bump up the film. Don't bump up the halation. I think it looks really, really cheesy, but it's honestly whatever you want. But yeah, thank you for watching my color grading tutorial. I hope it's not too long. I just wanted to offer you something of value. I wish someone told me this when I was first starting off. It's been really hard to learn how to color grade. I think your eye needs to get better. Use your tools properly, use your Lumetri scopes, expose properly, frame properly, learn how to light yourself in different ways, like the sun hitting you from the backlight. There's so many lighting techniques and framing techniques. But again, thank you so much and have a good rest of your day. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this color grading tutorial, and thank you Dehancer Pro. Thank you so much.